Welcome back to another episode of our podcast. Today, we are opening up a conversation that is incredibly close to my heart, and honestly, something we all desperately need to talk about. How tiny, almost invisible changes in your daily routine can completely transform your physical and mental health over time.
Exactly. We live in a world where everyone thinks that staying healthy requires extreme lifestyle shocks, like starving yourself on crazy diets or spending 2 hours sweating in the gym every single day. But the psychological and biological truth is that it's the micro habits, the small daily choices, that deliver the biggest, most sustainable results in the long run.
So, if you've been feeling constantly drained, waking up tired, struggling with mental fatigue, or just feeling frustrated because you can't stay consistent with your wellness goals, this episode is going to be your ultimate step-by-step roadmap.
Make sure you grab a cup of tea or a notepad, because the practical tips, scientific insights, and personal stories we are sharing today are going to completely flip the switch on how you view your lifestyle and productivity.
Before we break down our very first major habit, take just one quick second to hit that subscribe button right below and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our weekly deep dives into health, wealth, and mind growth.
Your support is literally the fuel that keeps this podcast running, helping us research deep scientific topics and package them into free guides for everyone. So please drop a like, drop a comment, and share this video with someone you truly care about.
Let's open up the biggest trap first, the overnight transformation myth. Every January or every Monday, millions of people decide they are changing everything. No sugar, waking up at 4 a.m., running 5 kilometers. But by Thursday, their willpower is completely depleted. They crash, feel miserable, and go right back to their old patterns. Because the human brain is literally hardwired to resist sudden, massive identity shocks that disrupt comfort.
Oh, I have been the victim of that exact loop so many times. Our brains love homeostasis. It's a biological state of equilibrium where everything stays predictable. When you suddenly force a massive shift, your brain treats it like an emergency, triggering massive cravings and exhaustion. That's why the secret to permanent health isn't a massive explosion of effort, but making changes so tiny that your brain doesn't even register them as a threat.
This brings us to our first micro habit, which takes less than 2 minutes. Drinking a full, large glass of clean, lukewarm water the second you stand up from bed. I'm talking about doing this before you look at your smartphone notification screen, before you wash your face, and definitely long before you take your first sip of dehydrating morning coffee.
Think about the science behind this. Your body has just spent 7 to 8 hours completely fasting and breathing out moisture, meaning you wake up in a state of mild chronic dehydration. Slipping water into an empty stomach instantly fires up your cellular metabolism, kickstarts your digestive tract, helps your kidneys flush out the metabolic waste accumulated overnight, and naturally wakes up your brain, modern medicine style, without crashing your adrenals.
Habit number 2 is something that completely changed my view on fitness. It's called NEAT, which stands for Non-Exercise Activity Thermogenesis. It's a fancy scientific term for all the calories your body burns doing things that aren't formal workouts, like pacing around your room while talking on a phone call, choosing the stairs over the elevator, or stretching while waiting for your food to heat up.
This is a massive game changer because people think a 45-minute gym session can fix sitting in a chair for 9 hours straight. But biologically, it doesn't work that way. Active pacing and cumulative micromovements throughout your day keep your fat-burning enzymes active continuously, keeping your blood circulation dynamic and actually burning significantly more energy over a 7-day period than an exhausting, painful gym routine that leaves you sore and stationary for the rest of the week.
Let's talk about food, because nutrition has become like a stressful religion these days, where everyone is feeling guilty. True sustainable health does not mean you are trapped eating tasteless boiled chicken and plain green leaves for the rest of your life. It is entirely about adopting the classic 80-20 rule of nutritional balance.
Exactly. If you focus on fueling your system with dense, high-quality, whole, single-ingredient foods for 80% of your weekly meals, your body becomes incredibly resilient. That means you can completely enjoy that 20% slice of pizza, birthday cake, or weekend dinner with your friends without destroying your fitness progress. Creating a healthy relationship with food where psychological guilt never triggers binge eating.
This next habit is perhaps the hardest one in our modern, connected era, but it's completely non-negotiable for your brain health. Creating a strict digital border by shutting off all smartphones, tablets, and laptops exactly 30 minutes before your head hits the pillow.
Look, we all love scrolling in bed, but that bright, short wavelength blue light emitting from your screen literally tricks your pineal gland into believing it's still bright afternoon sunshine. This completely halts the production of melatonin, the sleep hormone, which means even if you manage to fall asleep for 8 hours, your brain never drops into the deep, restorative REM sleep cycles required to repair your tissues and clean out mental clutter.
For our mental health block, please stop believing you need to go sit on a mountain and meditate in perfect silence for an hour to find peace. Instead, I want you to try the 2-minute breathing circuit. Just 120 seconds of deep, slow nasal inhalation and extended exhalation, right in the middle of your chaotic afternoon workday.
When you consciously slow down your breathing, you physically force your autonomic nervous system to shift away from the anxious fight-or-flight sympathetic mode and into the parasympathetic recovery mode. It instantly lowers your heart rate, forces down your circulating cortisol stress hormones, clears out that foggy mental static, and gives you an instant wave of clarity without needing any medication.
Habit number 7 is about protection. Becoming an active consumer who ignores the front of food packaging. The front side is designed by multi-million-dollar marketing agencies to lie to you with bold green words like organic, natural, or fit. But the absolute truth of what you are putting in your body is always hidden in tiny print on the back label.
Always flip the package over and read the actual ingredient list, which is organized by weight from highest to lowest. If you see refined sugar, high fructose corn syrup, hydrogenated palm oil, or chemicals you can't even pronounce listed in the top 3 ingredients, that product isn't health food. It's ultra-processed corporate science, no matter what fitness model is promoting it on the front billboard.
Here is a beautifully simple habit that will completely revolutionize your digestion and metabolic health. Immediately after finishing your largest meal of the day, stand up and go for a very casual, slow 10-minute stroll around your neighborhood, or even just inside your house.
The clinical data on this is absolutely mind-blowing because a light post-meal walk utilizes your skeletal muscles to draw glucose directly out of your bloodstream. This completely flattens the massive blood sugar spike that normally happens after eating, protecting you from insulin resistance and completely eliminating that heavy, exhausted afternoon brain fog or food coma that makes you want to sleep.
Now, how do we actually make these things stick without forgetting them? You use a brilliant behavioral psychology technique called habit stacking, which means you take the new habit you want to build and physically anchor it directly onto an old, deeply automated habit you already do every single day without thinking.
It's like saying, the moment I set down my morning coffee cup on my desk, I will immediately open my journal and write down my top priority for the day. Or, while I'm standing there brushing my teeth at night, I will do 10 slow calf raises. You are taking advantage of the pre-existing neural pathways in your brain, making the new habit completely effortless to adopt because it hitches a ride on an old routine.
Our final habit is a mental shift. I want you to completely stop stepping on that metal weight scale every single morning, because obsessing over a singular fluctuating number is the fastest way to ruin your mental peace and motivation.
Weight fluctuates constantly based on water retention, sodium levels, inflammation, and muscle gain, which the scale can't measure. Instead, judge your profound progress by deep wellness metrics. Ask yourself, how clean is my energy when I wake up? How focused is my mind during difficult tasks? How loose do my clothes feel around my waist? Those are the real metrics of a thriving, healthy human system.
At the end of the day, please remember that consistency will always beat intensity every single time. You do not need to be absolutely perfect. You just need to focus on making these tiny, beautiful daily choices.
Thank you so much for spending your valuable time with us today. Drop a comment below right now telling us the exact microhabit you are committing to start tomorrow morning. Stay healthy, stay focused, and we will see you right here in the next episode.